More than 3,000 people try to kill themselves every week. Thankfully, most of them live to tell the tale. Most of the people who kill themselves every year are men. Ray has an extraordinary story to tell. But his experience of suffering in silence is typical of many men who experience depression after a crisis in their lives and find it hard to seek help.
Born in 1954, very fit, to a family who had a construction business. And always with my dad since the age of 3 in lorries, in and out of the sites and enjoying myself. Followed Dad into the business and just trained from working on site to a manager. And then, unfortunately, at the age of 21, I got cancer. And I had what they call Hodgkin's disease. But the worst thing was they took the spleen out in those days. And they kept saying to me, be careful, Ray, because in case you're on site and you cut yourself.
Years later, he cut his hand at work lifting a manhole cover. Without a spleen, his immune system couldn't cope with the infection. Within 24 hours, gangrene set in. Both his arms had to be amputated.
I remember my dad said to me, he was around, and I think maybe it'd been days, it might have been hours, but he did say to me, Ray, just to tell you now, your arms are gone. I said, I know, Dad, but he said, your legs are gone as well. Well, that was it. I just swore and they just dripped, put more drip in me. And that was hell. I mean, that was just like being bombed. And I thought, I can't cope with this. 32. Terrible. Terrible. The picture then, I'm just a teddy bear now, because teddy bears haven't got hands or feet, so that's how I visualised myself. And I thought, well, I'm not Ray anymore. And I hated myself. Inside there was hatred. The thought in my mind was, I'm no good at anything, really. I can't do a damn thing, but I can drink. So I hit the booze. I always had a bit of cash and enjoyed my life, and I loved the pub atmosphere, and I did like buying rounds and being with my mates and having a great time. And I suppose I wanted to relive those days. The same old people were there, we were drinking away. I was up to my antics trying to make people laugh. But I think I began to drink a lot more than I thought. I was starting to be very sad, so I think I'd gone over the top with drinking. I think really it was a case of trying to obliterate from my mind the complete mess I was in. I mean, I was just in a state of trauma, still in bereavement because I was breathing because I got my arms and legs had sort of been taken away from me. My basic independence were taken away from me and my life was just a complete shambles. I just had the urge to switch my life off. I just wanted to end all the pressure that was building up inside me. I was so drunk, crying and crying and crying, and suddenly looming up against me was this tree. In split seconds I hit it. That tree was kind of like my my end of the line, really, like the train is going to stop. But it didn't. But I wanted it. It might have been something else, but in that split second I thought, have a go, let's hit it. But silly me, I mean, it made more damage on my car and my pride than anything else, And it was a bloody big tree, so I didn't move that. You need a JCB to move that thing. But it's horrible to live like that. It's horrible to think you can get to the lowest ebb in your life to do that. Very sad. Horrible. Horrible. Horrible.
Take forward, man.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, that feels okay, actually. It's quite a different fit, actually.
Yeah, what we've done here, we've done a super condom.
Ray has spent the last 20 years in and out of hospital tackling his physical needs. But he's found it hard to address the depression that put his mental health under severe pressure.
I'm very vulnerable when I'm like this. I wish I had my arms and legs. I wish I was back to just Ray. When they sort of take everything away from me, I just contemplate what it would have been like at 53 to have a normal functioning hands and normal functioning legs. And then I think back about the past and many things, really. I just relive the past in some ways.
That Ray became depressed as a result of this trauma is not surprising.
It's something that I don't really want to discuss very much. Openly, I've done it today with you, but it's not a usual party piece I do. I find it quite, not embarrassing, quite hurtful, really, to do that. And, you know, especially to all the staff that have kept me going, the medical staff, from cancer and losing my arms and legs. Everybody has helped me to achieve something, and I'm just going to do that. But they don't know what the mind's going through, do they? The mind is a totally different ballgame.
For his mind as well as his body, Ray's doctor prescribed regular exercise.
And love life to the full. The future is definitely better, and I am so honoured to be alive. But in those early days, I couldn't even see a light through the tunnel. And looking back, I'm so proud I've gone through it.
And so are his family, who have supported him all the way.
You broke your thing.
We're going left. Well, this is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Ray's life was turned upside down, and he reacted in a way that many of us can understand.
Well done, brilliant, man.
Sport Relief is supporting mental health charities to help people live with and manage their depression, anxiety, and the resulting loneliness and fear.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you.
Those organisations can literally help save lives.
I was talked to in no uncertain terms, in a way that gave me order and structure, because that is what I needed. Because the thoughts that lead up to suicide are chaos. You need thought, you need structure, you need someone to say, well, how about we do this, and then we do that, then we do this.
What you got to hide, I get angry too.
Nobody can make you want to live. You have to want to live. It has to be your choice.
You're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose. Let me come along, 'cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you.
To get to the point where I'm at, I think, is basically time. It's a horrible saying, time is a healer, but in a way it is. And you just learn to make your life fit in round what's happened and accept it. You have to accept it.
You could do your bit on the Sport Relief weekend and get sponsored to run a mile to help people all over the UK change their lives for the better. People who are fighting hard to change their worlds, but just need a helping hand.
It's very important to seek help, because you're only going to get better once you recognise that you've got a problem in the first place.